Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Poro Report, your one-stop shop for all things Legends of Runeterra. As always, I'm Smithel, along with my co-host Kozer. But as promised this week, and we mentioned it, we are, as you can see from the excited middle chair here, we have a guest. This is Master Player Gummi. Gummi, how's it going?
It's going good, dude. How are you, Smithel?
Good. We're glad to have you on board. So thanks for kind of joining us here and being willing to give us some of your day.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for the invite, dude.
So I mean, obviously we know who you are, but anybody that's kind of listening to the show or the podcast or driving or something like that, can you give us a little bit of background of who you are and like kind of your history with gaming?
Yeah, so I'm Gummy. I've played card games probably, I don't know, fifth, sixth grade. I'm 24 now. I started with the essentials, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon,
Yeah.
and played everything else. I've playing games, video games since I don't know. I have a picture of myself in underwears in front of like those old big blocky monitors
Yeah.
at my dad's house playing like Road Rash or something on the
That's
computer. So I've
awesome.
been playing for a very, very long time. And I stream on Twitch.tv, and that's me.
Awesome. So again, I kind of know I mentioned at the beginning that you are a master player here. How long? Let me ask you this: how long did it take you to climb the ladder to master?
All right.
And what rank was your highest rank? Where do you sit now? I know I saw your stream and your tweets. I know you and Master Ladder aren't exactly best friends right now, but it's still better than Kozer I will probably ever be. So I'm okay with that.
I think I hit it second or third week of since it came out. I was a little bit slower than a majority of the players that I would consider some of the better players. I peaked at 12, Master 12, and I think I'm like right now I'm like 500.
Okay.
400.
Hey, at least you're not 1,000.
Yeah. Ooh, 4 digits is a dangerous territory in this game. But yeah,
Very
me
easy
and
to get
Master
to.
Ladder. Man, ladder, you win like 20, 30 points, maybe 100, and then you lose. You play someone in the thousands, and then you lose 1,000. So it's whatever.
And that's the only thing that makes me feel better about whenever I'm losing, in low league gold, is that typically it's like, oh, I'm gaining 20, losing 20. Like, I can't imagine watching my rank go from like 12 to like 500. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
that
not
would just
that bad,
destroy
but
me.
it's pretty rough. Like some of the people in the Master Discord are talking. I think the highest I've seen now to date was 178. Someone was complaining about today. Yes, they lost. They went from like rank I don't remember who said it, but someone in the Master Discord literally said it. It was like
It's probably Nick or something.
oh, it was insane. Like guys are talking about like losing like 100, and then like just when I saw that number, I was like, what? The fuck? How's that even possible? And it's probably going to get even worse the more master players there are.
Now, and answer me this: is there a cap to master players? Like, is it only the top, 10,000 or 5,000 or so? It's just once you get into
anything. Yeah, once you get in, you're in.
Awesome. Now, is it also and again, because I'll never hit this, so I'll never know, but is it like a hard stop that once you're in, you can't go below it again until maybe like a reset or something like that?
Yeah, you just go to the last match. You're the lowest ranked master player. You're the bottom of the top,
Okay. I mean, that's how I assumed it worked, but I wasn't sure if there was anybody that, got kicked back out to Diamond or something like that. But again, I will never see that, so I'm okay with living in my lowly like scrub world.
Yeah, they've talked about fixing it. They just don't know how or when. So I never know if it's coming, when it's coming.
Oh, that'd be tough. I mean, I don't know how you would fix something like that. Especially because I'd imagine the queues are probably significantly longer, or at least
everything's really fast in this game.
And I think that's the issue is that they want games to be fast, so they match you with anybody. There's times late at night I'll play Diamond 4 players.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, wow. That's where they lose so much rank. Like the guy that probably lost that much rank. Again, I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it was over 100. That's happening at like late at night or really early when there's no other master players basically on. They're playing a Diamond 4, like 0 LP, like right at the bottom. And this guy's MMR is bad. They're losing like 150 fucking points. Like or ladder levels. Like that's fucking nuts.
That's tough. So is there a current deck? Like, I know that this meta is kind of changing pretty rapidly compared to, at least compared to like the other card games that I've played, like, Hearthstone and such. Is as far as your ladder experience has been maybe the past week or two, what kind of decks have you been seeing? What kind of decks have you been playing? What kind would be relatively good to kind of grind up there with?
So if you're just trying to grind, probably just play the Kinku Failure Elusives.
Okay.
Because it's just nobody plays it on Master though, because it's refined. You can't get any better with the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably as best as it's gonna get.
Yep.
But like, what do I prefer? Like, I'm more of a control player, like Ezreal, Karma Lux, maybe not Spooky Karma, but I've been playing a lot of Karma Heimer too.
Okay.
Oh,
and like
so
those
fun.
are like fun.
See, that's one deck I can't get the hang of it. And like, I wish I could. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, Heimer controls the way to go. Heimer controls the way to go." And I keep playing it, and like something just isn't clicking in my mind with like how to make that work. I'm getting completely wrecked with it. And so I can't figure that one out. Like, at least Ezreal, I know, like, hey, control the board whenever he's leveled up, then play him and just try to finish.
Yeah.
But Heimer, for some reason, there's something about the tempo of it that I struggle with.
It's like I usually keep so you play like Monk and Shadow Assassin, and then I usually keep those in hand, and then anything else that's not a Heimer I throw away. I just ditch because the deck needs Heimer. You need to get Heimer by 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd even keep it opening hand, even though
yeah. As long as I have something else I'm able to play on turn 3.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about
even then I would mull everything away, just keep Heimer, because the deck that's my gripe and what I tell everybody. Heimer isn't a bad deck. The only deck that really beats Heimer is Heimer himself.
Yeah.
Not getting it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because my issue is like, I put the Heimer on board, and again, it's been a while since I've played it, so I don't know if there's been revisions to it, but I'll put him on 5, and either they basically just take him out in the next turn, and I don't have enough to kind of protect him, or I second guess myself and I say, okay, I have 5, but I'd rather play him and then try to get a couple spells off to get something on board before they have a chance to remove. And so that's the kind of thing where my weakness is that I'm not quite sure, how do I play him on 5 and hold him there?
Holding him there is kind of the issue. The only spell that can really hold him there is Twin Disciplines, giving him +3.
Yeah.
And hopefully, unless they're thermo beaming for 6 or playing Vengeance with pooled mana, which is like nobody plays Vengeance. That card's not good anymore.
No.
So you do that to keep him alive. It usually works, and then you get a 3/1 elusive out of it. Or playing him and just realizing, you have Flash, you have the Disciplines. He might not live, but you still get 2 3/1 elusive turrets.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's my thing is I'm just kind of I'm beating myself with that deck more so than other people beating me.
Well,
I think that's the hardest thing about Heimer is the deck is it beats itself. You don't really lose hard to anything else. It just beats itself.
Yeah. So, okay, sorry, Koza.
I was actually going to say, Mega Magua actually just posted a video of his tournament that he played in, and the EU Invitational one, and he actually posted all of his Heimer games that he was playing, and that's actually how I learned how to play it. So you might want to check that out, Smithel, and anyone else that wants to. Like, Gummi did a great explanation of basically how to do it, but he gives like a full breakdown of like everything and goes all nerdy into it, so you can fully understand how to play Heimer. I wish Gummi would make a YouTube video. It'd be solid.
One day, maybe.
That's what we need. So so apart from just Smithel, don't play Heimer until you learn how to play Heimer. What would be like general tips that you would have for people that are just looking to climb? I know you sat there and said, hey, look, play elusives, but is there just like a general play mechanic that you sit there and say, hey, look, lower players, typically you're not aware of this, and you need to watch it. I know, like, for example, when we had Casanova on the show, he said, pick a deck and stick with it. Don't keep jumping around. Do you have anything like that maybe would be beneficial for folks?
I would say like 3 things. One of them is don't tilt forehead. It's like easy to say and then it's hard to do. But understand you can't win and lose. You can't win every game. You're gonna lose some. Yep. Being the best, you're gonna lose some. It's just your opponent's gonna have better. It's a card game. They're gonna have better cards in their hand at certain times. So you're gonna lose. And then number 2 is probably know what your opponent's playing. Know their deck, because like even though you know your deck, overextended to Ruination, your board gets wiped. You have 0 cards in hand. You lose. And then with that, you have to understand card value, hand size, what that means, and board value, board size, and what that means.
Okay.
Because if you have a bigger board, doesn't mean you win the game if they have a bigger hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's also kind of another one of my issues is that I get a little too over aggressive or over anxious with my spells. Like I'll sit there and I'll have a spell and I'm like, oh my god, I got a perfect counter for what they just did. But I'm like, I don't sit there and think, I should let that go through and save it for, my champion whenever I draw that, or I should save it for this combo that I know that this deck is built for. I definitely am a knee-jerk reaction kind of player. And I know that's my weakness. So I just get too excited when I'm like, oh yes, I can screw this guy. I can screw what he's trying to do here. But or I try to not play my decks kind of win condition, but more or less I try to prevent theirs. If that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah.
And I kind of back myself into a corner.
Yeah, taking those denies or whatever to stop one unit from dying just because it feels good. It's like the saying, you lost the battle, but you'll win the war.
Yeah.
You might need to let a unit die to a mystic shot to be able to then in turn, if he goes to spend all his mana on a thermo beam, to deny that instead.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it, and definitely not not a phrase that I've considered here. But so one thing that we kind of like to do always with this show is just kind of do a recap of our weeks and say kind of what we've been up against, what we've played, if anything major came out. So I guess I'd like to kind of throw it to you to start off. How's the ladder climb been going? Like you said, you've been boycotting the ladder.
I boycotted. I try to stay away from it. The thing is, like, rank 1 is like a very it's very prestigious title to have it, right? You're rank 1 on ladder in all of North America. Every player, you're the best of the best. But I'm not tilt proof. There's a point in life where it is tilting. You win 10 games to get to, I don't know, top 50, and then you lose one and you're back in the dumps at 200 and something. But I've been playing in challenges with other players, Bagels, Swim, all other master players, and we've been trying to refine decks as much as we can, and we're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
And I know we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit later too, but I want to give you a chance to shout it out. Like, I know you have a Discord for master players. Can you maybe for those of us that haven't earned that title and bought our way in, talk about maybe kind of what you're doing with the master players are talking about. I know you sit there and say refining decks. Is there anything kind of that you guys are looking at and saying like, oh, we're really trying to focus to build a Vlad deck or something like that isn't quite in meta yet or hasn't been refined?
So yeah, the master Discord's open to any master player, any region. We don't there's no discrimination, of course, besides your rank. No region discrimination, nothing. You can talk to anybody you want that's at master rank, and it's a place to share ideas at a high level without Twitch chat or the general population. Maybe something works in gold for you, maybe something works in plat for Koza, but it probably won't work in masters.
No. Oh yeah.
So it's a place to talk about that stuff. We do have a channel for deck lists. People talk about that. People talk about their decks and their deck talks, and with everything, kind of communal and big, there's little cliques that form, right? So we have a few cliques that are forming in the Discord that, they're playtest buddies. They play whatever deck they want. They go into challenges, and that's kind of what I'm trying to build is a very competitive environment for LOR right now.
Yeah, and I mean it sounds like a good thing because again, even though you sit there and say things that work in gold don't necessarily work in masters and I agree with like we talked about yesterday, Kozer and I, or not yesterday, last week. Yeah. Kozer and I were talking about the deck that we covered, which is War Mother Control, and he's like, oh no, nobody plays that at masters, and I said yes, but at silver and gold I see it all the time, and it is doing very well. So I mean it's kind of good to hear that, and what I like about it too is that even though what you're saying doesn't work at gold or something like that, or something played in gold, if you guys come up with a deck and it comes out, we're going to start seeing it trickle down the ranks anyway. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to sit there and see how that meta is being formed, because you guys, I assume, are sitting there saying, okay, here's the decks we're coming up against. Let's start, building and start theory crafting around what could possibly beat it, and so by the time I see what was a master level deck down in silver, I'm sure you guys are 2 or 3
a little bit
past it, But what about you, Kozer? How's life been on your end?
Well, I'm still hard stuck in plat. Bagels is actually supposed to coach me. We'll see how that goes. Backseat Bagels. That needs to be his nickname, right? Backseat Bagels.
Yeah, I wish you the best. I enjoy it. Bagels is a good friend of mine, but
no, I know. I'm just playing.
When he backseats, you might go down to gold 1 at this point.
Oh,
honestly.
I've already told him that he's going to be in Discord with me so I can make sure that I have his full undivided attention. Because that's one thing I'm worried about with him. When he's just in Twitch chat, he'll be doing like 6 other things. Then he'll be like, "Oh wait, why'd you play that?" And you're like, "Bro, you're supposed to be watching me play the game. What the fuck are you doing?" But yeah, so mostly I've been actually playing Heimer Karma. I really enjoy it. It's just super fun to play. Like even when I lose, yeah, I tilt pretty heavy, and that's probably one of my #1 issues with why I have a hard time getting, like, almost every week I get up to Plat 2, then I try something new because I get tired of playing elusives, and then I just drop back down and get more and more angry as I drop, and probably at some point I should just step away when I go down a rank and just cool down, watch anime, do anything, but I don't always do that.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I definitely get that feeling of just wanting to play something new. I mean, that's kind of been what I've been doing all week. Is so my theory, Gummy, is I'm convinced we're getting a new region next week. There's been nothing that's ever said that.
Ooh, so I don't know about next week.
So here's my only reason why is because, like, whenever they said here's the schedule of what we're going to typically aim for, it was like, okay, release, patch, release, and I'm like, wait, we've been through 3 patches. That means the next thing is region. And I'm like, so maybe next week. I'd like to believe that it's going to be next week and not 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now. But, so I keep sitting there going in my head, I'm going to just try whatever deck looks good. Like, I hit gold 4, and I'm like, I can't drop below it. So at this point, let me just see if there's a playstyle. Because I played so much, like, Shadow Isle, so much War Mother control just to get there, that I'm like, I don't want to play this right now. I need to switch. I need to find something else. So, like, I did, there's like a Prankster Teemo deck, Prankster Burn, I think.
Like the deck Swim made. Yeah. That's
so I played that. That's a fun deck,
Yeah, the fun thing about when Swim plays stuff is that's when I get to see it in Plat 4 to 3, and then once you're in Plat 2 to 1, that's when you're playing elusives, a little bit of control, more elusives, and then a random burn deck every here and there. So it's funny when Swim makes some new decks because you see them all in Masters too. That's what everyone says. It's not that hard to go from Diamond to Masters because everyone in Masters is really just fucking around. But once you're in Masters, it's like, it's just hard to climb because everyone is playing so many random decks. It's not like you're just sticking to 3 different decks because a lot of decks work in this game that can get you a W. It might be good against 2 or 3 types of decks, but then we'll lose to every other type. And then people just fucking keep going through them and playing new shit. And that's why it's really hard to climb. You need like over an 80% win rate to climb to rank 1. Easy.
Yeah, and like the Plat when I was climbing was actually the hardest. Because you have the people in Diamond that are trying to climb to Masters. And then you have the Plat people trying to climb to Diamond. Once you get to Diamond, you have the Diamond people climbing to Masters, which is kind of hard because they're playing top tier. They're not bad players. They're in Diamond. And then you do have those Master players that are just shooting the shit, throwing it around, and just playing whatever they want, whatever they've created. So it's a little bit of a difficulty getting Plat to Diamond. I think Diamond to Master will be way easier.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: so whenever you sit there and say that, like, when people get to that Masters, they're kind of shooting the shit, playing whatever they want to play. Has there been like a deck that you've seen somebody play, and granted, it may be one that's been so wild and out there that it may only pop off once in a blue moon, but that you just looked at it and go, "What the hell are they doing?" And it just looked really off meta or really different, or something that you wouldn't expect.
There's a lot of decks that do that. One of them recently was probably the Heimer Lux deck that was being played today by a certain someone, and then that deck I don't think it's good. It can get wins, but it doesn't have a way to close the game. It has no way to stay in the game either because it doesn't have any like sort of denial or way to heal or lifesteal or anything. So it's kind of like it can catch people off guard, and that's another thing. That's another philosophy I have about climbing is if you can find a deck that nobody knows about and you keep it secret, nobody knows what they're playing against. They won't know how to mull. They don't know what to use. They'll usually play more reserved, so you can take advantage of a person if they don't know what deck you're playing.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, sadly, in Silver Life, you rarely get surprises.
Yeah.
I can almost tell you the 3 decks that I'll hit every time, which is I mean it's good and it's bad because at least I know how to play them, like play against them and prepare. Like I was definitely playing a game. I think I was streaming it this weekend. I quickly was messing around, and I'm like literally 2 cards in, I'm like, oh, this is what they're playing. I'm like, I know exactly what they're gonna hit turn 5, exactly what they're gonna hit turn 6.
Uh-huh.
And when it plays out like that, it's nice. But I do wish that I could, kind of see a little bit difference. But so let's kind of move on to the news a little bit here. So obviously the big one I think that everybody's talking about and everybody's looking about is that on Reddit, somebody started to make some posts of, hey, look, this is out on mobile, in Singapore. And granted, when I saw like, hey, it's out in mobile, I quickly checked and I was like, shit, okay, I don't have what's going on. We found out Singapore. So I mean, it looks like Riot is starting to close in. They're starting to sit there and say, in my opinion, the way I view it is, we're testing this region. It's a smaller region. My understanding is that that region also wasn't fully developed for League or TFT, but I may be wrong on that. So it was like, hey, we're bringing this online. Let's see how it works. We're getting it to work on Runeterra as well. But it's also kind of a good testing ground of how it's going to function. Granted, it may be an older version. It may not be the final release, but it's definitely light at the end of the tunnel now of being able to just lay in bed and play this game.
That it gets me excited that they're moving so fast into mobile because I have friends that play TFT, the other Riot baby, and they get mobile soon this year, but the game's been out for almost a year, or it's been playable
Has it been
for almost
that
a year.
long?
Yeah, it was playable. Oh, closed beta or open beta?
Closed
June?
beta. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was like, wait. What?
I should say it was playable. It was playable.
Okay.
June, almost a year. And the fact that we're not even a launched game yet, and they're where we just came out in beta 2 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 3 months, and then we're already getting some sort of mobile play and mobile seed. Oh, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the speed. I think it's hard though to compare to like TFT, where there's a little bit more. I'll say like nimbleness and things to consider about how you're playing. And this one I think it's definitely made for it a lot easier. And in my opinion too, you have to have card games on mobile. I mean, it is the perfect I'm in the bathroom. I just need 10 minutes to knock something out. I can do it. Perfect game. Like you can't do a match of TFT. Oh, I guess you could, but it's not encouraged.
Not really, no. TFT is like at least...
You sit there for 40
your
minutes.
legs are going to go numb. Like, come on now. I've never won a TFT game in like shorter than, I think, 25 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
they're experiences.
It's not a league match, but it's still pretty long.
But there's been like so many times like I'll be at work and like I'll have like a lunch break or something like that. And I could knock this out at my desk. This is something I can do while I'm eating lunch, or if my wife's driving somewhere or something, I'm in the car. Like I could quickly knock this out, and that's kind of my problem. Is like I think I'm the oldest of the 3 of us here, and like I have a family and shit like that, and so it's like when I'm putting my kids to bed, I'm like I could just be sitting there and playing this, and like I feel so bad because I don't hit 13 like my Vault 13 every week just because I can't be playing it at my computer, and so I am like counting down for this to get to mobile because it'll be a completely different ball game. Like I'll be climbing faster, I'll be able to experiment with more decks, maximize my XP, all that good stuff. So, I can't wait for that.
You'll be able to get that 13 vault. I'm happy for it too. Honestly, it lets me leave my house. I used to play like before LOR like Super came out. What was my fad? Because I've just played TCGs. I've gone through the cycle. I think I was playing Pokemon. And I would literally, in between rounds at my locals of Pokemon, I would just pull out my phone and play Hearthstone in between my matches. So now, like, I could go out and just play. I can go back to Pokemon and just play LOR in between my matches instead. And that's just like, I don't know, it's exciting to me.
So you'll have to be one of those people though. Whenever you stream, like, we'll just get you one of those camera rigs, like in front of you, so you're walking around. but yeah, so I mean, it's good to at least see some movement there. I know that some people took the data pack and basically said, hey, look, you can install this on Android phones and run it. So we're seeing a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we're not encouraging that for anybody that listens to it. Is that if you do that, do it at your own risk. We don't know if it wipes any kind of data or anything like that. But but at least we've seen enough people try that we're getting some good screenshots. We're seeing how some things work in that release version. Again, may not be final release, maybe an old version of it or something like that. But we're kind of seeing the design, seeing how it's going to look on mobile, which is the first that anybody's seen anything like that. So I'm personally pretty excited. I think it looks pretty good from the screenshot I've seen. So I think it's a
like
good thing.
how they put the deck to the side. I have seen
Yes.
someone make a video of it. It puts the deck to the side, and then once you want the deck up close, you click the deck, and then it's all in front of you, like it is on PC. So what's nice is it's like less screen clutter. You can still see all your cards; they're to the side, but it's like once you want to play it, it's good. I mean, it's a little weird because it just looks like, from what I've seen, like every champion and every card is just zoomed in, like really, really close, and you're just like, well, it's Elise's forehead, basically. Like, okay, cool. I hope that they don't lose the artwork on that game. Like, I know Eternal was on PC, but I've also seen it on mobile. But I never actually played it on PC, so I don't know if they basically did the same thing there or if they kept the card art, because the card art in this game is fucking beautiful. And I really don't want to lose that.
I agree.
I've been trying to get wallpapers of, like, I don't know if someone has them. If someone has them, hit me up. I want because you can technically make a wallpaper. You know, you open it max size, click off the text, take a screenshot, put it in Paint, copy pasta. You know, just make a whole folder. I don't want to go through everything to do that. If someone has it, give it to me, because the art's so beautiful in this game.
There is. We actually have that.
You're saying you want a wallpaper like all of them together, or
yeah.
So
then I can just no, all of them. So then I can just cycle through it as my background. Because right now I have the ghost.
We'll give you the folder.
We got the files, you know.
Yeah, we got the files.
We got all the art. You know, somebody did release that, which was good.
On Imager. Yeah, we have
because I have the other one of, like, the welcome screen, you know, where, like, it's all the different regions. I got that one from Riot. Or something like that.
We got you, Chief. That's where all these. If you actually look on our stream, like, well, you can see it. I know you have it up. The pictures that are at the bottom are all the card art.
All the card art.
And we got it from the Imager. I need to update that because I'm tired of seeing
there's a lot in your Discord. Tell them to start putting that shit up there.
I need those.
I'll send it to you, like, honestly, right after the show.
Of course.
No problem. I'll find it. It's somewhere. I know I pinned it.
The art is so beautiful in this game.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I keep saying, like, I wish they would release, like, I have the lore book that they put out for League, and it's like, oh, here's everything we're in Terra, and I'm like, kind of want them to put out a separate one of just the art book of, like, here's all of Legends of Runeterra.
Wait a couple of years because I want to see it all. Like, I don't want just now because, you know, there's going to be new regions in, like, 3 months from now, 4 months from now.
Years to release a lore book for League.
True.
I've well accepted. I'll be like almost retired.
True.
So moving on to other big news.
Let's move on. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's up on the screen now.
Awesome. Yeah, other big news, obviously, and this just released a couple hours ago, so we quickly put it in here.
Ooh, it's so good.
But Riot Umbrage, so the design director of the game, released
Is it Umbrage? I've been calling it
Umbrage.
Umbrage.
I just call him my favorite Riot developer.
Yeah, I love him. I knew nothing about him until, like, they announced this game and, like, they did that, like, the 10-year anniversary. Here's what we're working on kind of video. And when I saw, like, the announcement for this game, like, I just loved it. I was like, oh, he seems like the most down-to-earth person and not just like I'm a stuck-up dev and, like, let me tell you how great my game is. It's like, look, we play it. A lot of card games suck. We understand that. We're going to make this not suck, and we want your, like, input, you know? So, like, I very much like that. He was like, look, we like playing it, but we want to make a game that we would like to play, you know? So I definitely love that. But so it's not like a patch note kind of deal, but it's more or less of a, like, hey, here's the state of the open beta. Like, here's what we found out from open beta to date, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. So we're not going to cover everything, you know, obviously, but there are a couple kind of key points that I think we should take away, but definitely encourage everybody to go ahead and read it. So some of the big things that, like, I pulled out of it is the things that they're looking to improve is they understand that there's been a lot of complaints about people intentionally roping. I don't see it that much, but apparently it's a big issue of people just sitting there saying, okay, we're going to run down at the last second click. And, you know, some matches are going on for like 40 minutes, you know, which is unheard of.
Had it happen to me once, I was super pissed. And then the guy quit the game. So I was like, okay with that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something that they're aware of this, and they're basically saying, "Hey, look, we're going to try to figure something out to make that punishable." I don't know if they do something like Hearthstone, where it's, you know, if people rope to completion every time it gets shorter and shorter and shorter, you know, or what. But at least they're aware of it, which is kind of nice. I'm hoping they don't shorten the timer all that much if they do, because I kind of feel like I don't have enough time a lot of times anyway. And that's just with making plays and letting animations pop off and deciding who I'm going to use to block and all that. So if they do shorten it, again, I'm hoping it's minimal. Another big kind of thing that they're coming up with is that they've recognized that, Shadow Isles is a bit strong. So kind of going forward, they decided, hey, look, when we form regions and we're designing them, we're going to try to make it so that there's a clear, distinct weakness. So that way, whenever, people like you, Gummi, are just designing decks, they can say, like the Void. Let's say whenever they release the region, the Void, they're going to sit there and say, here's the weakness in all these cards. So if you're seeing a lot of Void, here's how you counter it. You're going to want to pick this region that has a lot of board cleared, or this region that has elusives, or whatever the case may be. But they want to make the weaknesses of regions a little more distinct. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel that the regions right now aren't clear enough, or do you sit there and feel like they're in a relatively good place for the most part?
I think it's a little weird to be able to do that though, because let's say Void is weak to it, like board clear something, right? You're able to run 2 regions, just throw in Ionia, put a deny in, put something else in, and then your problem's a little bit solved.
Yeah.
And then so that's kind of the issue with Shadow Isles, is it's just it's just good by itself.
Yeah.
But then it has so many cards that go so well with all the other regions. Like Rekindler, for example, just good. He's good in everything. Just put him in anything that runs a champion, just throw him in there. It's fine. But yeah, it's really hard to say like what regions distinctly like control. And I kind of like that. No regions just control. No regions just aggro. None of them are just straight burn. They all can do different things.
Yeah.
And that's I personally enjoy that they don't have their own identity, because then it feels like you have to play one region to play a certain style compared to another region.
Yeah, like I definitely think that there should be elements of oh, you talking to us, honey? Nope. Okay. Sorry, Kozer's muted apparently on stream.
Oh yeah, okay.
People listening, but yeah, so it's one of those things. Like I agree with you that I do like that some of the elements are in everything, but I also feel that currently, if I'm looking at a region, it's pretty clear to get what the core purpose of it is. So, for example, like I know Noxus is going to typically be more of a like straight damage. Just want to put out as much as I can as fast, and things like Freyord, you got a lot more control or kind of slower paced cards. But like you said, I mean, there's things in everything that pair well. Like you have cards in Freyord that you can sit there and put with elusives and say, okay, look, I'm going to buff it that way it can get the damage out faster. So I mean, there's a little bit of everything. So I hope, like you said, that they continue that, where it's not just, hey, look, everything coming to Void has 1 health and it just gonna attack and die. Attack and die. So I'm interested to see kind of what they do in that regard.
Yeah, I'm really looking towards Bilgewater, because there's a thing on Reddit that came out like last month, that they had like a leak in the regions that were coming out.
Oh, okay.
And like I'm personally like, I've played League since season 1, before season 1 rank was even a thing.
Okay.
And I think that's just like a personal. I want to see what they do with regions, because like I said, coming from League of Legends and playing it for so long, I kind of have like a nostalgic feeling when I get to see all these champions and all their how they tie them into the game of Runeterra, of Legends of Runeterra.
You're dying for misfortunes like Cone Spray to be.
Yeah, I don't know, something, or Gangplank, or like
Gangplank. I would love to see, because I think his barrels in League would be such an interesting mechanic to find a way to implement. Like, look, you got to place them like someone 3 whatever 0/1s or whatever, but if you place them when you attack in a certain way, they can chain damage together. So I definitely
want the drunk. I don't know who his name is, but he's the jungler.
Gragas?
Yeah, Gragas. The fat guy that walks around with the keg the whole time. That guy's amazing.
I don't even know what region. I don't even know what regions he's from, honestly.
He reminds me of the guy from HOTS, the panda that's always drinking. Chen.
Oh, Chen.
Yeah.
I don't know what region he's from, but like there's like certain things, like for example, like Trundle is they put another troll, these Shiraz or Skirraz, whatever he's the thing that does 1 to everything when he's attacking. Any attacking or defending unit he's 1 damage to. So like they could put Trundle in, but the thing is like Trundle's known to be like his own thing, so it'd be hard to put him in Freljord, even though he's from Freljord, but he's not associated with them.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping too. So Gragas from Freljord,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm hoping that this isn't all that we see from the regions that are out. You know what I mean? Like, because there's still so many good champions that exist in these regions today that we don't know about, or that we know about that aren't in Runeterra. That I'm still hoping that when they sit there and say, "Hey, look, we're putting out a new region, but by the way, here's a champion that we're going to include, or here's something else that we're going to add to it." So I'd hope so. I mean, you never know. Maybe they're not, but like I love Volibear.
Yeah.
He's nowhere to be seen, So it would be kind of cool to see them kind of continue regions if they don't, add that way. But speaking of champs, another big thing in the announcement today is so he kind of called out specifically champions that have low play rates that they're looking for ways to improve, and he mentioned by name Vlad, Shen, and Kalista. And so he's saying, hey, look, these guys have low play rates. They only really work in very specific situations. And in those types of things, they're actually looking to maybe rework or update the champions themselves. So I read that to be, Vlad's, level up ability may change. What he does may change. The Vlad we have today may not be the Vlad that we have a week from now or 2 weeks from now. So it's interesting that they're already sitting there saying these cards aren't ideal and that they need to if that's what they're saying.
Well, like Shen, he's been seeing a little bit more popularity. They play him in the Demacia Ionia Shield Barrier deck or whatever they call it. That deck
that's what it is.
It's pretty good. I think it's like high probably if you were to tier the decks. It's high tier 2 probably.
Yep.
But Kalista, everyone that I know has tried to make her work, and she's just not a good unit.
She used to be broken though, from what I heard. Yeah, she was like
in closed beta. Yep.
Enclosed. I played against her a lot, and I didn't think Shadow Isles was that strong in beta, but like then I started. I was playing Yasuo the whole time and winning like easily, like every fucking game, and then all of a sudden this comes out. And then all I'm seeing is Shadow Isles. And then I was like, oh, I guess Shadow Isles is the strongest?
Like, I felt real bad this week because I opened my vault. I see like the champion card back. I'm like, oh, I got a champion. What the heck is it? And it's Kalista. I'm like, oh. I was like, of all the champions that I don't have in a collection, this is not one that I was hoping to get. But, when this came out, and I was like, yeah, good. Maybe it's going to be reworked and I'm going to have a great champion, So I'm hoping for a nice change. But he also sits there and he calls out champs like, Yasuo and Ezreal, where he's sitting there saying, hey, look, no changes are currently in store for them or planned for them, but they're keeping an eye on how they design champions in the future that have I think he called them like a dream crusher mechanic, where it's, you level up this champion by crushing the dreams.
Yeah.
Like, so Ezreal's like target. Yes, it's just stunning everybody and kind of destroying tempo and that way. So he's saying, hey, look, we like that mechanic, but we got to be careful about how we do it. Which I agree. As somebody that when Yas starts popping off, it feels bad. So getting a ton of champions like that just are designed solely to destroy decks as opposed to make their deck work. I'm glad that he's not saying that those are going to be a commonplace occurrence. That's so good.
No, I was just gonna say, that's another thing. Is Yasuo doesn't see any play, and I'm surprised they don't have him towards the Vlad, Shen, Kalista area. But we've decided it's not even like a lot of people I've talked to. It's not even Yasuo's fault. It's the support cards he has, because he needs to reach a certain milestone, right? He has to see X amount of creatures stunned and recalled, and it's not his fault. He can't stun and recall units. It's the support that he's given through his. Two. I think Noxus is the only unit or region that really has stuns.
Yep.
And Ionia is the only one that has recall, so you're forced to put him in those two colors. And even then, like I said, the support with stuns and recalls are not that good.
Yeah, and the only thing I think that saves him from being, I think, complete trash like Kalista, at least in my opinion, what I'm seeing on the silver and gold range, is that he doesn't have to see the units like somebody like a Thresh does or something like that, where it's like, hey, look, if he's in my deck and I'm leveling him, that's fine. I don't have to have him on board and then just feel bad. But I agree that I'd like a Yas deck to kind of pop out and be, strong with multiple different options, but yeah, I don't think it's there.
I kind of don't want it to happen because if they can find a way for it to work, Yas is broken. If you can find a way to make stuns that strong that he can level up, we're probably not in a good game state, and everyone's going to be running Yasuo. So I'm kind of glad that they're talking about like minor reworks with Ez and Yasuo, because I think that's going to make a huge difference if they change him a little bit. Like, maybe he doesn't need to stun people. Just think of a different mechanic, something else.
Yeah. Next thing we figured kind of was important to talk about. So they're updating reward distribution. So we sit there and talked about like, hey, a champion. Apparently that is rare. I mean, I'm gonna say apparently because I swear in all but one of my weeks I've gotten a champion when I open my
you're
vault.
a lucky bastard. Like I fucking hate you.
I don't
that
think I've gotten a champion
happens.
ever. I own all the champions now, but I don't think like when I didn't have every champion, I think I got maybe once.
Yeah.
But besides that, I've just gotten shards and epics and rares and shit commons that I can't do anything with anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming maybe the game is, oh, this guy hasn't played a ton. I see he's only on every other. We're gonna like help him buff up his collection a little bit. Like maybe it's like I think I told Kozer one time. It was like a week that I was traveling, and I think I had like bronze chest or something, and one upgraded. I think to like a gold or something. I'm like, hey, this works. I'll take a bronze to a gold or whatever the case may be. So I mean, I've had pretty good luck with my vaults.
It does happen,
and I know that's not the norm.
No, it does happen on my secondary account. I think I only got to level 7 or whatever. What is that, like a couple gold? I think I got like 2 golds, 1 plat, and I ended up upgrading one of the golds to a plat, which was kind of cool. It seems to be more normal, but then once I hit level 13, I never get lucky. I've gotten one champ in like the game's been out. What, like 4 weeks? I always forget. 4 weeks.
It almost,
month and a half.
It almost makes you wonder if they have like some sort of code or something built into the system that's meant to do that. Of like, hey, look, we see that you're not playing a lot. We're going to give you some good cards, maybe to encourage you to play more. But that's just the way it feels to me. As somebody that, if I hit level, like my goal is like, hey, look, every week I have to get to 10. Give me my expedition token. And then typically I get to like 11, 12. Some good playing. When it comes to mobile, it's going to be completely different. I'm going to be 13 and happily at 13 every week,
You know what I'm excited for the mobile? Is to be able to play myself and not have to bug my friends to get my free XP. Like, I'm glad they kept it. It's nice. Like, I understand that's kind of an exploit, but like, come on, man. You didn't think people were going to exploit your game? Of course it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get my 1500 XP. That's easy XP that I can get every single day. That adds up.
No doubt about it. But yeah, so they're updating that. They're trying to adjust the poor RNG comes, and they said especially when obtaining champions. So hopefully you guys get better vault rewards that way. They're also trying to address the wild card hoarding that's going on. Everybody, like, anytime you sit there and see it on a message board, people are like, hey, I got wild cards. What should I craft? And the first response is always, don't use them. Don't use them. Hoard them. They're so they're so rare. Don't use the wild card.
I have a lot.
That's it. They're sitting there saying, hey, we want you to use them. We want you to, experiment and try to build decks. So they're looking for a way to kind of encourage the use of wild cards and encourage people to actually go out and spend them and build decks. And I get that point. You know what I mean? Is if you're hoarding wild cards and you're going, oh, I can't make any deck. I can't do this. I wish I could make this deck that's meta, but I don't have the cards. It's like, you have them. You use your wild cards. That's what they're for. They put a good mechanic in the game with wild cards, and I think people stockpiling them just because they're afraid of the meta shifting and them not having.
I'm just afraid of a new region coming out, and I want to have enough wild cards for it. Like that's the biggest thing for me. Or if the meta changes, the only thing I don't save is my champion cards, but I save everything else. Also because I have quite a bit of shards. I can buy a lot of these cards that are greens or blues, so I don't really worry too much about that. It's mostly like I really stockpile purples. Like there's not a lot of decks that use epics, So when you do have a deck that uses them, like when Dawn Spiders was a thing, you need it to have epics. And of course, at the time, it was the start of the game, so I had no epics. So
I think that's a thing though. It's kind of an issue. I think is gonna come up is then they release another region if they do it in a month or whenever next week, whatever happens. Is there's players that like me, I just play all the game all day, 24/7 pretty much. I just play the game. I almost have every card unlocked, so I get to stockpile these wild cards for when the new region comes out. And if they don't remove the lock to be able to buy wild cards or like do like a pre-release or anything or a pre-purchase, there's gonna be players like Smithel who's just he's not gonna have the cards of the region while I get to just play every card of the region and just do whatever I want because I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when mobile's out, I think you have less of an excuse, really. No, like not even just Smithel. I'm just talking about in general. If you don't have time while you are going to the bathroom or just taking 30 minutes of your day to literally be on your phone, like most people are, to just sit there and play.
Minutes.
No, not usually.
Like have an aggro deck ready. Like there's plenty of burn decks out there that you're like, look, if I don't win in 5 minutes, I don't win. You know what I mean? That you're just sitting there saying, I got 5 minutes. I'm sitting on the couch. I can knock out a match. You get that done. There's ways to do it. But I agree that you still maybe want to be at your computer for like, I'm playing control decks. I need to think about this. I need to be focused. But if it's something of like, hey, I don't care what you're putting on board, I'm going face every time.
Smart.
NA aggro brain.
I hear you. So another thing, again, won't talk on it too much, but they did sit there and say, like, hey, look, more cosmetics are coming, Guardians boards, card backs, which I know people have been asking about. Emotes.
I can't wait.
Yeah, card back's gonna be sick.
Card backs are good. I'm more excited for emotes. Like, I think they've done such a good job with the emotes that they have.
I just want Keku. I want them to make Keku in the game.
Keku?
Yeah.
Oh, Kek W?
Kek W, whatever.
Oh, Kek W. They can't, but I mean, it'd be good.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Oh,
they gotta get that guy's
version of
permission.
Kek W would be really good. Like if they just like took one of the champions, messed with its face, did like a Kek W with someone's like face. Braum Kek W, dude. Give it. He's already BM. Just give me a Kek W, Braum.
It would be amazing.
But like I love the character that the emotes have. So I'm like, oh good. Whatever you're selling emotes, I guarantee you I'll pick up a couple of them.
Oh, 100%. Make them cheap, please. Don't make them super expensive. In other games, emotes are not 900 gold or 500 gold or anything like that. It was actually one of the cheapest things in Heroes of the Storm was buying emotes.
Yeah, I mean, what scares me is I'm pretty sure they're not super cheap in League, and there's a million of them.
Yeah, they're they're cheaper than skins, but they're not cheap though.
Yeah, I mean, skins, they're not like you'd expect it to be like a buck. Like I'd be like, a buck for an emote, that's fine. I'd buy like 20 of them, that's fine. But like, so they're not super cheap. So I'm hoping that they're coming a little bit less. But the one thing that I was curious about is, so they said that and said card backs, but then they also said card styles.
Yeah, I don't.
I have no clue what they get, because that's the only thing I would think about. Is...
Give them devil horns or something on the cards.
No, the only thing I can think of is like an Ezra, like an alternate art. Like I played Magic, the online, right, the arena, and they have like a full art lands. You can just get full art lands. You can get like full art units or whatever. So maybe they're allowing kind of like maybe if you can parse them like a golden version.
I didn't think of that.
Oh yeah, you have cards like that you showed me on stream one time. I thought, wasn't it you that showed me the full art of, it wasn't Magic, but it was something else. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, Force of Will. Yeah, Force of Will.
Yeah, they were like gold cards or whatever, or like hollows. Yeah. That'd be really cool, like have like a holographic Ezreal.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad thing. They could actually tie it into like skins of, League. You can sit there and say like, oh, I want, Project Akali or something like that, or, True Damage Echo.
This is just me super theory crafting. I hope they use skins for the champion, but make it so the champion does something different.
Yeah. I would
give
love
it a different ability. Like it's a different skin champion. It's the same champion, different skins.
That's what they do in TFT.
Else. Yeah.
The whole galaxy.
Exactly.
I would love to do
like an Ezreal deck, or something like that, where it's like, look, sides of it, or his level up ability or his abilities, like maybe something else off of his kit. I think that'd be really cool. They did also confirm, kind of just moving down the line here real quick, that, while they have all this kind of stuff planned, the big things, obviously, mobile, global launch, and then the next region. But then after that, they're going to look to shift towards new modes. and new formats basically for people to use their collection. So like we got like the draft mode, we got the ladder mode. This could mean something like, hey, look, they have like a single player experience or like kind of a storyline kind of deal or something like that. It could mean any number of things, but I'm glad that they're sitting there saying, we don't want it just to be these two things. We want you to be able to use your collection in new different ways.
Yeah, I don't know. Me, I hate expeditions. I get my coin and I don't do anything. I click it and I do claim retire. I do this. Gozer says he was doing the same thing.
You're killing me. I know you guys do it.
I'm a very competitive person, and I need to boost my online ego as much as I can to prove that I'm the best player that I know. And I can't do that. Expedition. It doesn't give me a rank. It gives me.
As he only plays friends this week.
Yeah, it rewards. Well, if I'm better than my friend group, that's good too. Like playing Smash in your group of friends, and all you do is beat them.
Yep.
You're the best of them.
See, like the way I look at it is because I hit Legend in Hearthstone once, and I was like, oh, got the card back, check it off. I'm never gonna grind this hard again. Like,
wait, you actually did that?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know you ever hit Legend in Hearthstone. That's interesting.
I grinded hard one time just because there was a period where I had to have every card. Like, so it was like, the series came out and it's like, okay, gotta get the chest, up to the level, get the card back. If they did a release of something and it's like, hey, look, if you buy 50 packs, we'll give you a card back. I bought the 50 packs and I got the card back. Like,
it's skamaz, dude.
Oh, I got suckered hard in Hearthstone. I got suckered real hard. Like,
guess I'm gonna have to go really hard in this game then, because I guess I have to be the one that hit master out of both of us.
I'll give you a hint. If they do card backs and there's a master card back, there's going to be a chance I'm going to start.
Oh yeah, I'll try even harder because I take a lot of breaks and focus on other things as well. So
because I just like that of like somebody would see it back and be like, oh shit, somebody that Legend. Like it's a status symbol kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and so you sit there and say like you're competitive and that's how you view ladder. Like I'm like, I'm not gonna hit master. Like I know that's not gonna happen, but like with expeditions, I'm like I can get 7 wins. I may not be like number 1 in NA, but out of those 7 like sons of bitches that I played, I'm number 1. Like you can't take me down, So to me, it's like that's my win,
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I like why I like that, because I'm like I know I have a chance to be the best in at least this group of people, So so that's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited to see what they do with that. Any other thoughts on news?
I just wanted to mention one thing. It is kind of funny to actually mention that in the Masters Discord today, and people still not know that if you just retire your expedition coins, you get a free champ. Like this dude, like literally did not know that, which is fine. Like I'm not making fun of him. It's just like there's some people that hate expeditions so much that they haven't even went into the mode to figure out what happens. I did it the first week, got a champ card, didn't even know until you mentioned something to me, Smithel, saying. You always get a champ card, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I just would retire instantly. I tried. I did. I'm not like Gummi. I did try. Wait, didn't you actually one stream you tried to do expeditions?
Oh no, I let chat. That's different. Okay,
yeah,
I did the first expedition I did. I went 7. The first expedition I did, I got 7-7. So I just stopped. I was like, I got my 7 wins. I don't need to play anymore. I've done what I've came to do.
Yep.
And then, I let chat do it once, and it was not fun. I was just like, I'd rather just play ladder or not anything but this.
Oh, I would never let somebody pick like my expedition deck because I'd just be
puff caps.
They picked barkeep or back alley barkeep, and I had 7 of them in my deck. And I didn't draw any of them. And I'm like, the point of the deck is to draw this card, to play this card, to keep playing them. And I'm just like, I'm not doing this ever again.
Hey, I was trying to help you. I was always voting for the one that you wanted, but it always got outvoted. And exactly when that card popped up, everyone was voting for that shit. And I'm like, dude, he's got 7 of them. Like, let's keep it down to 3, maybe 4. That's trolly enough. Like, why does he need 7? It's not necessary. I think Casa did that too. It's pretty funny to watch you guys because you're just like, oh my god, this is fucking horrible.
Yep. So Kozer, tournaments, what happened this week? What kind of popped off?
Well, a lot of people, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but there was a Korean Invitational that happened that was hosted by Riot. We will talk about that a lot more next week. We're actually, I can say it now, we've lined up to have a special guest, Astrogation, come on, and he's actually doing some co-casting with Casanova. I think it was today and yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And they were basically talking about the whole tournament, the decks that were being played, and basically just doing like an English cast over it. And then I think it's resuming next week. You see, I haven't been following it that much. I want to go back and rewatch, but I haven't been following, so I don't think it's done yet. Do you know, Gummy? Or have you not been following it at all?
I've watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it. I've watched a few matches. I'm just real butthurt that North America doesn't get anything. EU's gotten. You're probably gonna talk about them, but they got two tournaments recently, and then Korea got they got their tournament sponsored by Riot.
Yep.
Like it's an actual Riot tournament, and then North America's gotten nothing.
Did you see that video for it that
No.
Riot put up? Oh my god! Wow.
Was it good?
It looks amazing. It
See,
like I get so hyped looking at I'm pretty sure it's the official one. I'll find it and send it to you, but. Like, it is such a good video.
I put it up on stream, but it's
so excited.
Probably copyrighted or something, so I probably won't be allowed to do it. So
just like, come on, man.
Yeah, so, well, as Gummy cries, I'll talk about the EU tournament that he's pissed about. So, basically, EU had an invitational. This is actually going to be the second one, because the first invitational wasn't exactly an EU one. It was a Polish,
yeah.
Exclusive Polish tournament. This one was just EU. So basically, this is the actual bracket. This was the top 8, but the tournament didn't exactly run like that. The tournament was 5-game Swiss format. Now, I've never really fully understood Swiss format, but I know it's a lot of fun. Like, isn't it like you win one, then if you lose, you go down, and you just basically end up facing everyone once, and then who's ever in the top goes to top 8? Or am I wrong?
So I think if it's like an actual tradition, how they did it like a normal card game, you have usually day ones at a tournament is pools or Swiss. So it's like, well, it's normal Swiss because you never aren't able to play. So even if you're OX,
will you play the same person though sometimes? Like, is it possible?
No, you'll never play the same person. That was the thing. But you'll play people that are equal to your score. So if you and someone else lost their first game, you'll most likely play someone that's lost their first game. And the people that win play the people that win.
Okay. So the only time they are at the equal grounds, like where it's just everyone 0-0, and then every time after that it's only okay,
it's
cool,
based off
your
score, off your record.
Okay,
I don't know if that's how they did it. I only watched the top 8. I didn't watch the first day. Of Swiss.
I didn't either. I tried to catch a couple of streams. I think I was watching Alan play a little bit. Anyway, so once it went to top 8, then it was. I think it was still best of ones the whole tournament, and that was one complaint that the creators had about it, was that it was best of one Swiss at the starting, and then I don't think it switched to best of 3 until maybe the finals.
I don't
because I didn't
best of 3. I think I don't think so. I don't think it was best of 3.
Yeah, like, it's just weird. It's a card game, man. You can't. I'd rather just like, it has to be a best of 3. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care how you want to do it. Just best of 3. Best of 1 doesn't really tell you anything about who's the better player. It's just whoever got luckier. Sometimes you just don't top deck when you need to. Sometimes you don't bottom deck when you need to. Like, it's just, you're basically adding so much RNG to the tournament that I don't think that it really helped all the creators get to where they were supposed to be. Anyways, that's just me being... I think there should have been a lot more of the other players that I know of in the top, but shit happens. So anyways, Tilted 22 actually won the tournament. These were the decks that he used. I was just going to go through them quickly. I'm not really going to explain them. We've probably talked about them all at some point. Wow, what a surprise. Heckram.
It's just SI Demacia is what it is. It's just like super, super easy.
Oh, but it's only like one. It's only Relentless Pursuit, too.
That's what they said. Still, just SI Relentless Pursuit. Yeah, it's cool though. He did put in missed calls, which is nobody in NA plays missed calls in that deck.
Yeah, which is cool. Weird because I've seen, like, this can technically.
I don't think I've ever seen that card played.
If you play it right, couldn't you get another Rekindler and a Heckram? Like, couldn't you have like 9 Heckrams if you played it right?
Yeah, so you could probably like glimpse a Rekindler and then missed calls. If just a Rekindler dies, missed calls. Rekindler grabs Heckram. You have 2 Heckrams.
Like, that's fucking nuts. It's actually pretty big brain. As Nux, oh my god, they got to do something about that. Al Nux. We could talk about that for days, but yeah. Elnuks are just way too strong, and then you have your elusive deck. This, like you said, this is a fully refined deck. There is no changing this. The only thing I see people change is whether they want to run 3 denies or 3 wills. It's up to you, but I wouldn't really take out too many cards. So it's kind of preference on that. You might take out one of the hatchlings and run 3 if you want 3 denies or something. So that's what Tilted 22 ran. I wanted to show something else that was actually interesting. So these are the most used champions in the tournament. Karma, Elise. Are we surprised about that? I'm not really surprised about that.
I'm not. Elise is played in it's played in the Shadow Isle Miss Race. It's played in the Fearsome. It's played in Spider Aggro.
Yep.
2 solid, very solid decks.
And Karma's just being thrown
surprising.
in everything. Really?
Karma's a little
that?
surprising to me, just because Karma Lux. You have Karma Lux, Karma Heimer, and then you have Spooky Karma, like the main 3 Karma decks.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't really surprised about it. Because a lot of people are playing Spooky Karma.
Ooh, I have the hottest takes. I think that deck sucks.
Oh, I don't like it either. Once you play an hour-long match of it,
sucks.
Dead for me. It's never being played again. I haven't touched it. I think I even deleted it from my list. I won't play it again after an hour-long game. No game should last that long. It's LOR.
Even like the Karma Heimer thing, I can see that's why Karma saw play, especially since you say Mogwai played Karma Heimer.
A lot of people in EU actually like that matchup, which is surprising. Yeah, it's weird. It's huge. Karma Heimer is actually used quite, like Alan ZQ has like.
Yeah, Alan plays it a lot.
Dude, he has like isn't it like around like an 80% win rate with it? Isn't that why he's basically top like 10 like all the time? Because he has like a ridiculous win rate with it. Last time I checked.
That's the thing. Like, I like about different regions.
Yeah,
Europe is known like. I don't know. I played Hearthstone and all that stuff. Europe is more known to be like. Usually they play the more control-y based decks, and then NA is the no brain aggro players. You know, they just go face all the time.
And then Asia is all over the place usually.
But yeah, like usually sometimes they play aggro. From what I've seen, a lot of them play aggro.
Okay.
But I'm not as educated. I've never had an account in any Asian region ever anywhere.
Surprising. Like, honestly, I know a lot of people that make Asia accounts just because they want to play it, like, especially in, like, MOBAs to go and play in there because they just find that I remember I made an Asia HOTS account, and, dude, I was playing kids in, like, bronze, and I swear it was harder than playing kids in gold. In Heroes, I was like, what the fuck? These guys are nuts. And like, what? They don't even play this game that much. That's why they're bronze. They're just fucking around. Like, they're just that naturally gifted at the game. Like, it's just nuts. It was nuts. I'm not really surprised most used deck was Elusives. I would assume this is Elusives.
Yeah, there's nothing else that you get out of that. That's
maybe an Ash. Maybe an Ash.
No. That's just Elusives.
No, because the Ash one I'm thinking about is actually Ash Noxus. So, most used region. Well, I'm like, fuck that. I don't even need to
imagine
talk about
that.
Wow.
The best region in the game, hands down.
Yeah, even Umbrage. I don't know. Umbrage. I don't know. It doesn't say bridge, so I don't really know what his name is. I hope one day someone figures it out, or maybe I could ask him, so don't keep butchering it. Let's get into the Monokuma Esports. So I'm not going to go into this as much as I usually do. Basically, just going to talk. Shiku won for the EU. Top 8. Some of the guys from the actual Master Discord are on this list. But yeah, Shiku won pretty convincingly. I can't remember if he played last week. I don't know. Anyways, so he won for EU. NA, unfortunately, all the boys got kicked out, including Gummi.
It happens.
Casa.
It happens.
Yeah,
can't win them all.
It sucks. Mav was
Croc's a very good player, though.
Yes, he is. Sunglasses is actually one of the guys from Discord too. He came in second. Power of Evil, he just joined this week, and Grap I think has been in for a while. So I think that's it for the tournament talk. Like I said, we'll go more into the Korean Invitational next week. and Gummy will cry during that whole talk about it.
Probably will, dude. I appreciate Han, the gentleman that does the Monokuma tournaments for NA.
Yeah.
At least we get to see some sort of competitive environment, but like it's not everyone trying exactly their hardest, because there's nothing you're playing to like play and win, but there's no like, oh, here's $1,000, here's $2,500 if you win, you know.
Yeah. It's hard. Like me and some people in the Masters Discord were actually talking about doing a tournament. I really want to do it. It's just, I don't know. I've been a part of a league. It takes a lot of work to run crap like that. And I have the podcast. I have a girlfriend that I need to see. And if I do a tournament, one of those things is probably getting cut out. And maybe I'll never hit Masters because I'll never get to play the game because I'll always be modding something or doing something. So I don't know. It's a big decision I got to make. But
I mean, here's a question. So Riot, like, for TFT, how long did it take them to actually institute any kind of tournament?
They
still haven't.
Never had one.
It's all side tournaments.
They had Twitch Rivals.
Like
they had
Creator one now, aren't they? Like
they Twitch Rivals. That was all I saw.
They had Twitch Rivals, and then they did for when Set 2 launched, they did a creator invite.
Okay, because I know they're doing one for 3. So
are they doing one for 3?
They're doing 1 3 as well.
But that's not enough.
I don't have anything against the creators or Riot, but it doesn't allow the top players that play the game to the best, to its potential, shine and show the game. You
think Scar's trying to go pro in TFT? No, exactly. He's just a content creator. He quit playing pros.
Scar.
I do too. And I'm like,
great.
disguised toast. Like, you think any of those guys are trying to go pro in TFT? No. They make content. They enjoy playing the game. Well, most days. They enjoy playing the game, and they're just trying to have fun with it. If there was real pro events, you might see them there as casters or something like that.
Well, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Is like, I'm hoping that they put a spectator feature in the game sooner rather than later.
I hope. I really do.
And I think that's going to make it a lot easier for them to sit there and develop tournaments.
Even in TFT, like they haven't. I don't even think there's a spectator mode in TFT yet, is there?
I think you can spectate.
You can spectate.
Yeah. I think you can spectate just because it runs off the same engine the League client does, so it's a little easier.
Okay,
because they don't have to totally reinvent a spectate option.
Yeah.
Well, are they really reinventing? Like I've complained about before.
They have to code it right.
Yeah.
Eventually, they need to put all of these games like TFT. I'm sorry, TFT is blown up enough that it should not be in the League launcher. I think it needs to have its own launcher, but I think they all need to be like Battle.net, like everything in the same launcher. Like have lore, have TFT. Have League. If you're having a shit day at LOR, maybe you're going to try out League. Maybe you're going to play LOR. Maybe you're going to try another game. That's the one thing that Blizzard did do right. And until recently.
I think it might come out either with the launch of TFT or the launch of LOR, or
I think Valorant.
What's their shooter? Yeah, Valorant.
I think
I still call it Project A, but I think when Valorant comes out, I think that's when shit's getting serious for Riot.
I do too.
That's a big project coming up.
Between that and the fighter game and
and
all that, they're gonna have to look at a lot of that kind of different stuff.
It's still funny though to me is that the RPG or the MMO or whatever they were supposed to do. I saw someone basically retract a comment. I think I mentioned it last week, but it was just interesting because I'm like, they mentioned like basically 10 games they were going to come out with, and I really do hope that they do stick to making something. Like, it doesn't have to be like Diablo. It doesn't have to be exactly like WoW. But
like a top-down kind of adventure kind of.
Yeah, it would be so sick. It'd be so good. You know that Riot would do it well, too. It would have such good lore. Like, if there's one thing this game knows how to, or, like, developer knows how to do, Riot knows how to make lore. Really good.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, sometimes it's hard to follow, but it's not bad.
Well, Gummy, other than not having enough tournaments in NA, is there anything else you want to talk about for tournaments?
Become a master player. I'm thinking about doing one for the master Discord. You're not going to win anything. I'm poor. But what you can win is a roll. We're going to get a dope roll. You could get a dope roll.
Ooh, I like that. And let me guess, am I going to make the roll?
I'll probably. It's not going to have anything. You just get a cool name. You get to choose your color. You'll choose the color of the name.
Okay.
Within boundaries, you can choose what the roll name is, too.
Well,
so like that's something that I'm thinking about starting up because like I said, nobody likes ladder. If you like ladder, you're a sadist. But like
I think 209 would disagree with you. He loves ladder.
he's a sadist.
Yeah.
And like I think having just a healthy tournament or competitive environment in general, whether it is prized or whether you get something out of it, will make the region healthier as a whole.
Show Riot that we care about the game too. That's huge.
For when it actually comes out, like when there is a tournament scene, we're ready. You know.
Yeah. I guess we'll go we'll talk about your deck right after this. We'll just go into the Master Discord. So, Gummy, do you want to explain it or do you want me to explain it? I know you've kind of went over it, but we can go over everything.
If you're not Master, you're not welcome. Grind and get Master. I don't know. Besides that, it's just a cool place where like people who have worked to be Master. I know there's people like Kozer and Smith that have to work, so they can't. It's just not possible, right? They do other things. But these are for people that, are degenerates that put a majority of their day, maybe 80 plus, 70+% into the game. And I feel like they kind of deserve a little bit a place away from Twitch chat, like I said, or Reddit forums or anything where people might be a little ignorant.
Yikes.
So it's pretty good.
No, I agree with that. I mean, when you get to that rank again, anything that I feel like I've seen Master players sit there and put out, you get two reactions, like in the internet in general, of it's, oh my god, you're amazing, you think of the stuff, or you're complete trash, how would you ever put this out, this deck will never work, whatever. And I can understand the need for you guys to have a spot to kind of bounce ideas and like have more of that constructed conversation about it. Like no offense to me, but like if I was sitting there telling you like, hey Gummy, this is how you should build a deck, like you know that I'd be like, fuck off, Smith, I'm done. Like who are you to tell me? Like
everything can be refined.
Depends if it's a good idea. Gummy might think about it.
Like I understand my role, and typically the people that hit Masters, it seems like a very similar mindset among many of you, and so it's kind of good, and I can understand the need to kind of work with people and kind of bounce ideas off that way, as opposed to sitting there saying, hey, I'm putting this out, Smithel is a gold player, what do you think?
Yeah.
I can't sit there and tell you what makes a good deck. We're supposed to put it together. I look to you guys to sit there and say, this is what's good, here's meta, play it.
So basically the last thing so it's called LOR's top 0.1%, because we didn't say the Discord name. Yes, the name is a bit of a meme. Don't get salty, people. It's not a diss or anything like that. It's just a name. It's just a nickname. It was basically, it was created by Bagels, Casanova, and Gummy. Swim joined as a mod and has brought quite a lot of people in. If you are ever looking for the link, go to Swim's account. I honestly can't. I'll add it in the description. I can't remember his stream off the top of my head.
Twitch.tv/swimstrim, STRIM.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. I thought it was that, but I didn't want to say it and it'd be wrong. So go there. It's !Masters Discord. It will pop up. Join that. There is a wonderful video of me showing you how to show your proof of Masters. Please do that. If you don't, I'm going to tell you to go back and read it. And show proper proof. Once you do that, you'll be allowed. And basically the Discord is, like you talked about, is current meta talk, decks, setup scrims, much more stuff. Keep it LOR related. We don't want to talk about politics. We don't need to hear that your girlfriend beats you up on the side. It's not that Discord. That's for PMs or other Discords.
Can I add something really quick?
Yeah.
So Closer's the main mod. The people that have that are above him on the right side are people that are kind of like, I don't know, owners/shareholders. I don't know. You don't make any money from this thing.
Message me.
No, message us if you want.
Oh, okay.
We're probably not going to answer.
Yeah.
And Kozer does most of the modding, and if you give him a trouble, I'll ban or kick you. I don't take shit. I run this thing like a tyrant.
Respect.
And I have an iron fist. So if you piss me off in the Discord, you're going to get banned or kicked. And if Kozer comes to me with an issue, you're probably going to get banned or kicked. So just mind your business and just keep it mature.
So don't piss me off. I am captain. Look at me.
Yeah, he puts probably more work than the four of us that are above him do on the Discord.
I would say, I know you've modded people. Like, I know you've actually added Master Role. I think Cass has done it like 3 times. Bagels has done jack shit, and I don't expect Swim does enough by having it on his.
Yeah.
Ever since he's put it on his Twitch, dude, we literally have like 10 to 20 people that join a day, whether they're masters or not. Well, that's. I think they join just to see if they can get in anyways, even though they're not masters.
Sneak past the guard, man.
That's like another thing. If you're not master, you can't see anything. And the link that I'll just tell everybody, because if people watch this and they are Swim viewers, that link you click is a temporary link. Once you leave the Discord, if you're not given a role, you're not in the Discord anymore. So if you think you're just gonna sit there
that's why people keep getting kicked. That makes sense now.
Because it's not a partner Discord, so it has a max limit amount of people that can be in it. So we can't have people that aren't given roles just sit there and clog up the Discord.
Yep.
Okay, wait, there is a max? How many people are you allowed in the Discord if you're not partner?
It's a big number, but...
Okay, I was going to say it has to be big because NGS has over 1,000 people. It's like has like 1,500 people and they're not partnered. But that's on them. I think they could have been partnered by now. But anyways, different story.
No doubt about it.
So I think we get that. The link will be also in the video. I will put it there for the Discord. I will change my link because I have not been making it a membership.
I mean, that doesn't care if they don't get the master role. It's whatever. I slowly filter out people that have stayed gray named and just pick them.
And eventually there is a purge option, just so you know, Gummy. I won't talk to you about it here because that's not important, but there is a purge option in the Discord, and at some point we'll purge. We'll purge like maybe once a month, and especially once they announce when they're going to be either downgrading master players or what's going to happen, we're going to have a big discussion about what we're going to do then. That's probably the only time I'm going to need you four mods to weigh in on the discussion about what we're going to do. But anyways, that's enough about the Master Discord. Let's go into the deck of the week, which is
I like
Gummies.
I say it's your deck. I hope you like it.
I need to talk about this because I'm getting a lot of flack by other Master players, and they disagree with my list because it runs too many 2-ofs. But the fact of the matter, so if you go through the 2-ofs and what I'm running 2 of, you have 2 Spirit's Refuge, 2 Riposte. The card does the same thing. It gives your unit a barrier. If you riposte a lifesteal unit, you get +3 lifesteal. You get +3 health. You get over things. If you riposte a unit that doesn't have lifesteal, you're just giving it 3 damage. If you Spirit Refuge a unit that doesn't have lifesteal, you're getting lifesteal. So you're able to stay in the game and play the control list you want to play. If you riposte, like I said, a unit without lifesteal, you're not getting any lifesteal back. If you're at 2, you're gonna be at 2. So that's why I play 4, because they're the same card. It's a 4-mana barrier. And then what else do I run 2 of in there? I run 3 Judgment because that card needs to be at 3.
2 health potions. 2 deny,
2 single combats.
Yeah. Everything's at 2 actually. Yeah. Everything's literally at 2.
Except for standalone, Judgment, and the actual cards that you're using, except for Protector.
It's because I don't like. Another thing is I don't like 1-ofs because then you're relying on your deck to show you what you want.
Oh
yeah. So 3 of I feel like is this I don't know, this list is really tight.
So let's back up too. So when you sit there and say like, hey, we're playing 2-ofs and a lot of people explain why other master players saying that it's not a good idea.
They just would rather run 3-ofs. I mean, I tell them why I don't run it because like why don't you run 3 Riposte instead of 2 Spirit's Refuge, run 1 Spirit Refuge? Because I have Shadow Assassin that doesn't have lifesteal. I have Lux that doesn't have lifesteal. You play the 3/2 Brightsteel Protector doesn't have lifesteal. So like, if those are the units I'm given from the game for my cards and my units that game, if I'm playing aggro, you're gonna get blown out by burn or something.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, like, Kinku and Shadow Assassin and the lifesteal unit, Emerald Awakener, are pretty much the same unit. They're both. I think Emerald Awakener's a 2/2 as well, except one has elusive and one has lifesteal.
Yep.
So that goes back to that whole thing about on 3, I can feel comfortable back to back in my Shadow Assassin, even though I don't have lifesteal.
They both have lifesteal. Did you mean enlightened?
No. Shadow Assassin and Emerald Awakener.
Oh, sorry. They're
both
Kinku.
2/2 units. They're both tier 2 elusives at 3 or 2/2. One has elusive, one has lifesteal at 3 mana. I can feel comfortable standaloning my non-lifesteal unit because I run the lifesteal in the barrier.
That's smart. Yeah, I get that.
And I like Karma being in here too, because just extra spells that if you can put her on board and not have her be instantly killed, it's really nice. Good. And if you get Enlighten on Karma, Lux just goes
she
off.
just pops off.
Dude, I've seen. I watched you play. You had like 4 fleeting. What's the card called?
The laser. Her beam. I don't know what it's called.
I'm going to it. Final Spark. Final Spark.
Okay.
Yeah, this card is just fucking beastly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this too in a little bit in the deck. So generally pacing with this deck, you know, what are you looking for early game, mid game? You know, obviously you want Lux to kind of pop off and get Karma to lighten if possible, but you know, are you typically holding the Karma in hand till late game, or are you trying to play early just to get the random spells to pop in, or you know, what are you looking for here?
It definitely depends on your matchup, and like that goes back to what I said way earlier in the podcast: is know what your opponent's playing. But most of the time, if you don't have a 3-drop unit, mull your whole hand away. I don't care what it's in your hand, mull everything away, because you need that 3-drop unit. You need something to kind of play tempo. And then
he'll be back. He'll be back.
I'll be back. I'm back.
No, it's all good. And then from there,
this always happens every episode.
For some reason, about an hour and a half into everything, my computer just goes enough.
Yeah. And then it's just play control. Don't overextend. Can protect that one unit you have with your life pretty much, and wait until you get Lux. Lux on 6 is most of the time very safe. Maybe even Lux on 7, so you have the extra mana, pooled mana for deny and will or whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
And then just start beaming things away. I mean, at that point, it's just play 6 mana, shoot a beam. Play 6 mana, shoot a beam. Play Karma, Enlightens, start shooting beams.
And good old Judgment.
Yeah, it's a really good card. There's nothing. It's bad into Ash or any Freljord, but like Spider aggro, if you have 1 unit, 2 attacks, like super good. Like they usually have no way to get rid of it. Even 2 or 3 attacks, so you just play Judgment. That's
Enlighten
a card that
Karma with Judgment.
That's a card that I would definitely keep in hand if you're playing against aggro, is the Judgment, because that card's just they usually will just swing with everything, because the mentality is they either have it or they don't, and I say that a lot. You either have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's how you have to play aggro, is your opponent has to have the card or they don't, because you can't sit back. So just have it. Just have the answer and you're good.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, because typically, and again, and it's probably still with my rank, but I see a lot of Karma. Like I'll see a lot of Shadow Owl's Karma, but honestly, Lux Karma, I've only seen maybe this kind of deck, archetype, maybe once or twice. So I definitely feel like it's a little bit more of a big brain type deck, as opposed to what typical golds are running right now, which is just burn decks. You know, but I like it. You know, just being able to kind of look at it and finding that answer, I mean, I think would help, because again, like you said, if I'm running against burn decks, just having the lifesteal, having the abilities to kind of keep things on board while I'm blocking it out, I think would be huge.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, so I mean, it's definitely something I'm hoping to try out and see if maybe it'll start that climb a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a fun deck. Anything with Judgment, like that's why I love Fiora and stuff. It's super fun. The Fiora decks, it's just really hard to keep her alive and have her as your main win condition. Yep. There was like maybe Fiora Rekindler could work, but
that's what I'm doing right now. There's a
the only thing is she doesn't get to keep her. She's one of those units that she has to be on board to do it. She doesn't get to keep her.
Yep, you got to start over.
Which I agree. If it kept
oh
my god,
oh my god,
they probably did that broken. In like close like alpha. They probably had it in alpha, and someone was like, dude, like if you don't change this, I'm like not playing this game anymore. Like do it now.
There would be no reason to play anything other than Fiora decks if it was just you know.
Fiora was so popular in actual closed beta before open beta. I found that she was really popular, and then I was surprised it was trying so hard to get Fiora in open beta, and once I got her, everyone was like, wait, no, you go SI Hecarim, what are you doing? Are you an idiot? Like, I was like, dude, I just did everything to get Fiora Shen. Like, this was the deck during, like, closed beta. Like, what? Oh, no. Now I wasted all my... Going back to the point, now I wasted all my wild cards. This sucks.
Yep.
The Shark Chariot was also like a huge thing when I played in the closed betas. The two that were like the October, November
Ephemeral.
one. Yeah, Ephemeral was a huge thing. Now Shark Chariot, everyone's like, that card sucks. That's a 3/1, unblockable, leaves your board. That card's garbage.
I mean, everything about it should really make you think that it's kind of garbage. Maybe if it was like a 1-cost unit. But even then, I still don't think it would be great. Doesn't block. It disappears after the game. Like, maybe if they remove... Like, maybe if it could block too, sure. But, I don't know. Anyways, that's a different topic for a different day.
Although I will say I've made the mistake of playing it thinking it could block more than once.
Yeah, that little X usually means at the bottom of the card.
I'm not thinking, I'm like, oh, I need to put something on board. Oh,
That's
I got
why
something.
I hate Ash when she levels up. Like, what fucking... Like, thank God she is not, like, broken. Like, oh my God. When she does go off... You're just sitting there, you're like, I can't block anything. What am I supposed to do? Like, unless you can pull a judgment and your card can somehow kill everyone and they can't frostbite you because they have no mana, they could literally make it so your whole board can't really defend. It's just nuts to me.
It's tough.
So, you think you covered enough, Gummy? Anything else you want to add about this deck?
No, it's just... Play smart. Use your whole time that you're given. Like, I think it's like a minute and a half to play your whole turn in between actions or something. I don't know what it is. It's really long compared to like other card games that you're given this amount of time. Use all of it if you need to. Don't be afraid to be that guy that ropes. You might piss your opponent off. You might play me and piss me off, but like, really use that time and make sure you're making the correct line of play.
Yeah. I mean, definitely thinking it out. But I think with that, then I think when my computer's basically saying I'm shutting Discord on you, I think that's kind of a sign we're getting to the end here. So first, before we close, obviously, Gummy, huge thank you for coming on.
Thanks, guys, I appreciate it. Having me.
Yeah, it's definitely good to kind of see the upper reaches. As your Discord would say, the top 0.1%.
Hell yeah!
Like kind of way down and kind of let us know kind of what the thought process is behind some of these meta decks. Because again, typically people sit there and just go, okay, what's meta? I'm going to copy the deck code and play it. But they don't give a lot of thought behind of like, how to play why do I have, 2 of these cards in it? Why do I have 3 of it in it? How should I properly be playing it? Not just, I'm going to go off curve. If I have a 3 unit in hand, I'm going to play a 3, which again, that's my problem.
Like Smith and Heimer, basically the same thing that he's talking
me and
about.
Heimer. And that's the reason why I need like a master player to come on sometime and be like, okay, we're going to talk Heimer in detail and say, here's when you play things because I'm going to follow curve. Like that's why I kind of like the mid-range decks. Like I'm trying a Vlad one, which it's Vlad. So it works about 30% of the time. But it's like, okay, on curve and he just does what he needs to do. But I mean, it's awesome that, you're willing to kind of take time out and explain certain aspects of the game that maybe a lot of people don't think about as regularly as folks like you do. But, obviously the most important thing is anybody listening to the podcast or watching the YouTube video or whatever, where are they going to go to see you, to watch your streams, follow what you're doing, all that good stuff?
So both Twitter and Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Gummi, GUMMI_God, GOD, and then that's the same on Twitter and Twitch. So try to keep it real simple for them.
Awesome. And again, in the show notes too, we're going to post your Mobalytics decks and all that kind of good stuff.
Because he comes up with a lot of creative ideas. A lot of creative ideas.
I don't know. I don't know if they're good. They're creative. I don't know if they're...
You made Burn Aggro a thing with Teemo and Draven.
And then instantly shut down.
Well, that's just because you guys shared it with Swim a little. Well, you didn't specifically, but someone shared
even
it with
Swim's prankster deck that he made.
Yeah.
Once Ladder smells a whiff of it, 24 hours and it's gone. They're gonna make something that beats it.
Yeah.
But that's still like the cool thing is like if people follow, like I said, like your decks and they see something going, what the hell is this? Let me play it. Even if for 24 hours you play it hardcore and it gets you to that next tier.
And then if
people like Swim come in or somebody else says, hey, look, I figured out how to counter it. Who cares? You got 48 hours of climbing with it. Continue.
209 made a perfect point about this. 209's I was watching a stream one day and he's like, I love the way the ladder works. I just wait to see what Swim's playing, and then I just make a counter deck for it, and then I play that the whole time that everyone else is playing Swim's new decks that he plays on stream, and then I win. And that's how I stay consistently in the top 10.
True.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's so many people that just go, this is the meta deck, this is what I'm going to play. So I kind of like, and I like to look at those weird decks. Like I said, the Vlad deck I'm playing now, it's nowhere on ladder, so it's fun to play. But Kozer, as far as where people can find you, what is the best ways to reach out to you?
At Kozer88 on Twitter, twitch.tv Kozer_88, and YTKozer88.
Awesome. And if anybody wants to follow the harrowing times of a gold player, you can follow me. Twitter is at Smithel Gaming. Twitch.tv/Smithel. I know this weekend I'm going to be playing with a couple other Mobalytics partner in league. So if you want to see me play even worse in a game, that is definitely the one to watch, because I have a lot of fun, but I am terribly bad at it. Again, for people that are listening or watching on one media outlet or another, the best way to kind of figure out where we're at everywhere is to look at our Twitter account. That's at Poro Weekly. YouTube, any kind of link, anything that we talked about in today's show, they're going to be posted on the YouTube channel in the video description. Go ahead and check that out. Again, Weekly Poro Report is the account you're looking for. Twitch, twitch.tv/Weekly Poro Report. And again, if you guys are listening to this on iTunes or anything like that, a positive review, if you're enjoying the show, would help us increase our visibility and kind of keep moving up the ranks that way. I know there's a lot of Runeterra podcasts, so anybody that's listening to this, as always, thank you. It's something that we enjoy talking about, so hopefully you enjoy listening. And then, as always, too, if there's anything you want us to discuss on show, just shoot us a message, and we'll happily discuss it. If it's interesting enough to bring up to some of our guests, like folks like Gummi, we'll always give you a shout out. We'll give you an opportunity to get your question heard that way too. But I mean, other than that, Gummi, again, thank you. Hopefully, we can have you back on sometime, and
it was fun. I enjoyed it.
We could do something like that. Good. Awesome. Hopefully next time you'll be telling us about how awesome the Runeterra tournaments are. That
I hope.
Coming.
I hope. But yeah.
I believe.
The one thing I did forget to make you explain is, why is your name Young Sugo?
On League?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just this time in life where none of the HOTS players played HOTS. We played League. We played TFT. We just went around. I played League, like I said, since Season 1. I just had all this blue essence banked up. I changed my name to 7 times, I think, in like
oh my god,
month.
You were one of those kids like Xbox Live changing his name like every month.
I just was bored. Like it was just random things, and like I was like there was this one time I was a Silas only like player for like a week, and I changed my name to like, it was like hit me zaddy ooh woo all in lowercase. And there's another one that like in TFT people could ping each other. People could ping each other in TFT, and I hated getting pinged, so I was like, or it was something that was like ping me at AFK all lowercase, and I just ran out of blue essence on Young Sugo. So I got
no.
Fair enough.
Awesome. All right, guys. But I think with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Again, thanks everybody listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. But with that, Kozer, go ahead and take us out, buddy.